Hello world, warmest welcome to World Humanitarian Drive's 10th episode of Inspiring Millions Show. This is the show where we feature brilliant minds from around the world to share with us their story, one story at a time. Today, our special guest is a medical professor from University of Gjirokastër and Secretary General of WHD Albania, Dr. Zhenisa Cuni Graci. We'll get to know her inspiring story in a short while. Thank you for joining us live or on replay. I'm Viva Andrada O'Flynn, your host and Global Media Relations of World Humanitarian Drive. It's a third year of World Humanitarian Drive. May we call this our third year anniversary special? World Humanitarian Drive, also known as WHD, is an international NGO with operations in 12 countries, founded in Croydon, UK by British Indian global peace activist, entrepreneur, writer, Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed. The primary vision of WHD is to promote peace, education, and trade harmony initiatives globally among everyone across the world, regardless of race, gender, religion, or nationality, living as one family. For 3 years, WHD has been organizing programs, events, initiatives focused in the upliftment of women, youth, most vulnerable and minority population. WHD has made considerable strides to achieve the goal by collaborating with various world leaders, governments, and organizations across the world to promote peace, education, and trade harmony through various global initiatives and humanitarian activities. Just this Monday, 5th of March, WHD celebrated International Day of Conscience through an online event entitled Promoting a Culture of Peace with Love and Conscience. It was well attended by honorable dignitaries. You may watch the video at our Facebook page or YouTube channel. On this Inspiring Millions show, we encourage you to engage with us. Please help us spread inspiration by sharing this link. Put your questions that you would like to ask our honorable guest, Dr. Zhenisa Cuni Graci, or comments that you have for us in the chat box. We will read them later on in the show. Since this is WHD's third year anniversary special, let us also know your favorite memories of WHD. Oh, let us also know where you are watching this. Wherever you are in the world, let us keep you company and brighten your day as we share peace, love, and goodwill. For today's episode, our virtual stage takes us to Albania, a picturesque country nestled between northern Greece and turquoise waters of Italy. Albania is considered as Europe's unpolished diamond. It has one Nobel Prize winner, Mother Teresa. Albanians don't call their country Albania. Instead, the name for the country in their country's mother tongue is Shqipëri, which translates to the land of eagles. We are very much honored to have with us a medical professor of University of Gjirokastër, Secretary General of WHD Albania, Dr. Zhenisa Cuni Graci, MD. Dr. Graci studied general medicine in University of Tirana, Albania. Right after graduation, she started working on healthcare as part of public administration and as a family doctor. In 2011, she started working as full-time lecturer at University of Gjirokastër, Albania. Since then, she teaches student nurses and inspires them to be the best they can be. With her life experiences, and especially after becoming a mother, Dr. Graci felt an innate need to be her best self for her family and her nation. She gives her best to encourage and guide her students in their path to success. She sets an example in serving humanity towards peace and prosperity. Dr. Graci was honored by Universal Peace Federation Albania as Ambassador for Peace in March 2019. She serves as Secretary of Regional Peace Council of Gjirokastër since November 2019. Dr. Graci was appointed as Secretary General of WHD Albania. Dr. Graci strongly believes in teaching by example and not by words. She deeply appreciates the good intentions and hard work of WHD team to bring people together without any barriers and altogether build peace and sustainable development globally. Let's all welcome Dr. Zhenisa Cuni Graci. Mirsavini, welcome.
Thank you, dear Viva, for your amazing introduction for my beloved Albania. And for me personally, it was a big surprise for me. You already know some Albanian words. It's amazing.
Thank you, Falan. Okay, I'm going to say thank you in your language too. It's Falamindarit. Thank
Yeah,
you for
exactly.
joining us. Yeah, thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank
So
you
we
for
are
having me.
very, yes, thank you. We are so honored that you could join us today, Dr. Graci. Could you please give us a brief background about yourself and introduce to the world who is Dr. Graci?
You said quite a lot about me, but I was born in Fier, which is one of the biggest cities in Albania. I believe is the third one, which means it's an urban area. And of course, it has cultural diversity in it. And therefore, I got grown up with several values you can get in this kind of cities, which I am very grateful to my city, to my classmates, to my teachers, of course, to my family and everyone else who was present in my life. And I am who I am because all of them. And yeah, since a kid, I was good in sciences, natural sciences. So I don't know, I had this inner desire to study for medicine and become a doctor. Maybe because later now, I think it was maybe because I'm very sensitive to people's needs around me. So maybe my subconscious was hoping that becoming a doctor, I would be a better one, a better person to help people get out of their struggles and their pain and their diseases. So probably it was this. And yeah, I graduated for general medicine. I have been part of the public administration and health system in Albania, but I also did work as a family doctor in the city I'm living now, in Gjirokastër, in one of the nearest villages, South Albania. Yeah, and I have beautiful memories from being a doctor. But since I had the possibility to work as a professor at the university, so I again had an inner voice, let's say, encouraging me to try to enter in the education system. And I did good following my inner voice because I found out I am deeply in love with education, and I am deeply committed to give my best in this field, in education.
Thank you so much, Dr. Graci, for that wonderful introduction. So you were a family doctor and now you're a medical professor. So what are the important lessons that you've learned in your life's journey so far?
Important lessons there have been.
Yeah, like have you learned anything like from being a family doctor to
important lessons? Yeah,
yes,
there have been a lot.
maybe
I
just
had
a
this
few.
I had a signal issue. That's why I was
Okay.
I was out of the question. Okay, so now I'm in. Thank you. So
Yes.
sure, I had some very important lessons. So as a family doctor, I learned to practice directly to the patients what I have theoretically learned during my university studies, right? But in a different way. So I found out I had to solve their problems in a more practical way. So theory is not always, let's say, so complementary to practical one, especially in poor countries like Albania, where you cannot offer the best to every patient. Yeah, so we are trying to improve and things got better. And I learned how to manage my knowledge in real patients. And this was an amazing lesson I got because I found out that human brain can, in an excellent way, apply what was only words and lessons inside, apply them in a real human being and see amazing outcomes, see results, real results. And bringing again smile to the patient, and this is unforgettable. It's really precious to me. But going further than this, what I really appreciate was, let's say, I learned to use critical thinking. This is the most astonishing experience I have felt as a human, since it started since student, and then it got stronger during years that passed. And then another lesson was understanding that everything I want and need should come from within. So I learned to focus on myself and look for and focus on the inside and trying to improve my life, myself, my family, my outcomes, professional outcomes, and everything else, starting from myself. Because earlier, but maybe this is common to many other people, same as me. Earlier, I used to give fault or maybe expect things coming from the outside. And then luckily I realized, I opened my eyes and thought this is wrong and I should start from within, and raising awareness and being more confident, for sure, working hard on myself. And this is what I do every day. And I also consider myself an eternal student, honestly. So I want to learn more every day, and I want to share my knowledge and my experience with everyone who wants to hear and to listen about it. Yeah. And this is another lesson I learned, which is being connected, because we are all connected with each other. And I cannot be happy if I am not connected in a pure, in a human way with the others around me. This is impossible. So we cannot be good and happy alone and thinking just about ourselves. But it's exactly the opposite. By giving more, by sharing more, by being present more.
Wow, those are many valuable lessons that you've learned. So you've learned how to focus on yourself and also connect with others as well, and the many other lessons. So with all that's going on in the world right now, many of us are staying at home. And so parents are educating their children at home. So you're a mother as well. Do you have any tips for parents in caring for their children at this time?
Yeah, actually, my family, as every family in the planet, went through a lot the last year because of the pandemic. And let's say we all had some objectives. I mean, school and profession and our responsibilities and everything else. But maybe we can think of this situation as a practical lesson to learn, to understand it, to accept it, and to move on with it. So we cannot change reality. The pandemic is here. All we have to do is how to manage it correctly, so it will not damage our mental health, our physical health, and our future. So maybe I think, of course, teaching from home, like I do with my students online, but also my kids being online with their teachers. Of course, our connection with each other, me with my students and my kids with their teacher, is, let's say, it's not normal, it's not natural, it's like maybe not interrupted, but it's somehow it's not going the proper way. But I believe we need to focus more on this situation, on our mental health. So let's try to enjoy these days as much as we can, because there's nothing else to do, I think. So we need to hold on to human values, and we need to cultivate patience, and we need to cultivate maybe self-discipline, and try to control emotions and try to work more independently. And this is a good thing. So in every bad situation, there is something good coming with it, as well as in every, let's say, flourishing situation, there is something bad also happening. So this is life, and maybe we need to go through it like this. I think so. And kids maybe learned to be more independent from their teacher, from their parents, but maybe we got a little stressed because of doing everything inside the house. But there are solutions, and I think we can talk even later about the solutions. Yeah, there are several things to do.
So what would be those solutions?
For
Because we're
example,
just
for example, personally, I got aware that the only way to get out of this situation is to spend time with ourselves. So of course we have to do everything inside the house, and we spend more time together, I mean, as family, but of course personal distance is, let's say, it's getting closer and closer. So we don't have any more personal time, personal space, and privacy and everything else. But we can manage better time and space inside our houses, and let's spend time with each other. So every one of us should have, probably should have its own corner, if not own room, at least an own corner of the house to have their stuff and focus for several hours, I don't know. So the time I need to focus on my work, and kids the time they need to focus on their lessons and teaching online, and also spending time together, but also following our passions and our hobbies. So we need to keep on taking care of health and practicing and doing exercises, meditating, enjoying sun as much as possible. I believe in this sun exposure, and Albania luckily has so many sunny days during year. So whenever I am stressed and depressed, I get out in my balcony and take some some sunbathing, and it's really relieving. And yeah, there are several practical things to do, and we will surely successfully go to the end of this pandemic like this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Graci, for sharing all those valuable tips with us. So with COVID, there's a lot of fake news circulating. And then so people just saying that COVID isn't real. So where should people get their sources of information from? What would you like to share with them?
According to my opinion, this is a very hot topic, and maybe everyone has something to say about it for sure. What I think is that let's not focus on the mediatic information about the pandemic and everything else. So we have the fact that people are getting sick from a virus, which scientists say that it's coronavirus. And actually, I also got infected during December of last year. So I had this mild form of COVID. And I think the real problem maybe is, as you said, fake news, maybe fake information. But what really bothers me and really worries me is that this COVID stuff is becoming another reason more for us to be separated. So our societies are extremely radicalized, pretty much is the same everywhere. And COVID is separating us even more. So this is what I would suggest to calmly solve this issue. So what I think would be, if me myself as a doctor, but everyone else who wants to get proper information and secure information about COVID should be really calm and not getting this thing so talking about it so personally in an angry way, or in a rude way, or treating the other people who have other opinions as enemies. No, we are not enemies. We are same humans facing this same virus, right? So let's talk in a calm way and in a professional way. And what I believe in is opening our minds to several sources of information, and then trying to understand which is truth. But for sure, to find the truth, we need to hear real scientists. I believe this. We need to hear and read and listen interviews and read books and news everywhere from real doctors. So from people who have studied and work every day with this kind of diseases and who manage this situation. And for sure, every doctor has the ethical responsibility to use its critical thinking in understanding this disease and explaining it properly to all the community. This is my belief.
And you've also had COVID, so you know that it is real as well. So,
yes, I did. Yes, I did have it.
Yeah. And then so Dr. Graci, so we've also just celebrated World Health Day. So people are stuck at home, and then so They're probably looking for ways to be healthy. So would you like to share some health tips to them, how to stay healthy in these COVID times?
Sure, it would be a pleasure.
Thank you.
Um, before going practical to your answer, I just want to highlight that at least in Albania, in our medicine studying programs, we are not taught about so much about, let's say, emotions and their effects in our health, or maybe mental health and its effects on our immunity. So I had to study after graduating. I have to study and read a lot about this importance, this great importance that mental health does have, and also environment does have in our health. And my tips would be to answer your question. My tips would be, for sure, taking care of mental health, because it directly influences our immunity. So if we want to fight a virus, corona or not, or whatever kind of microorganism, we need a strong immune system. And to have a strong immune system, we need to have a healthy mind, and for sure to feed in a proper way, in a healthy way. So I would recommend for sure techniques which help us preserve our mental health. I personally recommend, and I felt value too much on meditation and also yoga, but also maybe just thinking, maybe we don't need a technique, a strict one, but just maybe thinking positive in an objective way, not accepting panic or being afraid of diseases or anything else. So just control your mind. This is very important to me. I have experienced it personally. And after that, trying to eat as healthy as possible. For sure, some people might say that eating healthy is expensive. It is. Maybe not everywhere, but in my country, yeah, it is expensive to eat healthy. But when you have to take decisions how to spend your income, money you have, maybe we should choose, is wiser to choose spending money on healthy food than spending money on luxury or on, I don't know, for example, smoking, right? Money you are using for smoking, you can use them to eat healthy, and a lot of things, a lot of other things we can do. Or let's say adapt our expenses according to our incomes and give priority to healthy eating, because we all know, and hopefully I think we all are aware that we are what we eat, and we are what our environment is made of. So let's take care of the environment and our food. Yeah, and boost our immunity. This is very important.
And we can also grow our own food.
That would be amazing. I would love to. I can't right now, but it would be amazing if one can grow its own food. Yeah.
We're really lucky to be getting a lot of tips from you today. So you're a medical professor too, Dr. Graci. So how would you encourage others, let's say our viewers, to take up nursing? What would you like to say to them?
You mean about students who choose to become nurses, right?
Or people just thinking about taking up nursing, how would you encourage them to take up nursing?
I would, let's say, I of course, I personally did witness that nurses are, if I can say it like that, like the mothers. So to a patient, the doctor, if I can say it in a literal way, like figurative, like
Yes.
symbolic way. Yeah.
Yes.
So the doctor is maybe the father who takes decision, who puts the diagnosis, and he decides what is good to be done, what is not, and changes that need to be done. But the nurses, like mothers, they are caring. They are every day, all day, during all their shift, to the head of the patient, taking care, measuring the vital signs, applying therapy, taking care of their needs, physical needs, mental needs, and explaining maybe complications that will be happening and everything else. So they need lots of respect, and their work is huge, is immense, and is unpayable. So being a doctor and a nurse, it's something that you do only if it's your passion, only if you love it, because there is no amount of money that would pay back what you are giving to the patient. So of course they need to be paid because they live and they have families to keep and everything else, but what they give is much more. It cannot be bought with money, I think. So we need to support more, encourage more. And if we have doctors and nurses around, we need to understand their needs also, because they are humans and they need our support and our kind words and encouragement and understanding of their struggles and appreciating what they do for us every day.
I'm sure there'll be more people thinking about getting into nursing as well. So you're a medical professor. What gives your life meaning? What is the best thing about being a medical professor for you?
This is very easy to answer. The best about being a medical professor is witnessing with your own eyes that your knowledge is getting into the head of future nurses, in my case, and seeing how they grow being nurses and being respectful and being kind and being humans. And you know, when I start working with my students since first year till they graduate, it's a very special pleasure noticing how they grow up as nurses. And this is not just the process of learning our disciplines. No, this is also a process of our minds getting ready for who we are becoming. So first day they come into my class, first year, first day, I'm teaching them, I say, consider yourself nurses since today. So when you come to class, consider having the white shirt on and having all the responsibility in managing patients. So this is the only way for your brain to get aware of what we are going to do and accumulate and let's say be part. It will become part of themselves. Only this way, I believe, it will be part. Everything I say, I teach, and all my colleagues also, it will be part of our future nurses. Only this way, only by filling the profession, and of course, looking how they transform slowly into real nurses. It's the biggest pleasure.
That's amazing to know. So, also, Dr. Graci, we have viewers from the Philippines and other parts of the world. So many of our viewers have not been to Albania yet. So this would be a great opportunity for them to know more about Albania. Could you please share with us what you love most about Albania?
Yeah, it's an immense pleasure. Albania is a very special country, honestly. Well, everyone would say the same about their own country. But Albania has an amazing geographical positioning, and climate. It's really appropriate for growing. Fruits, vegetables, which is good for our health. It's also perfect for growing animals and everything else. We have not so many population. We are nearly 2,700,000. Yeah, 70,100. Yeah, so not nearly 3 million people inside our borders. So there is lots of space, and nature is beautiful. So we are a very small, geographically a very small country, but we have everything inside. We have sea and lakes and rivers and valleys and hills and very high mountains. So you can find everything. And what is interesting about Albania, if you don't have much time to visit, maybe you have only 3 days, you can start from north, from the top of north, and you can go straight to the top of South Albania, maybe in 3 days, and you can see all the landscapes available in Albania, which is it's very easy to travel. People are very kind, and this is the biggest treasure, according my opinion. We still have the majority of Albanian people inside borders, but also outside. Albanian people are still kind, and they reflect human values, and they are very willing to communicate with foreign people and to help them. without getting anything back. And we have lots of sunny days and beautiful beaches and pure nature and very good food. You can still find pure, tasteful foods in Albania. They are really good. And I have my own experience in tourism, so I can guarantee about this. So I welcome everyone. I would suggest everyone to consider coming to Albania.
That's great. We also have viewers from Malaysia. I'm sure they're also just wanting to travel to Albania when they could. So, Dr. Graci, you've supported WHD She Speaks, Knowledge Saves Lives, Climate Action 2020, COVID Times Poetry Competition, among others. So, what are the causes that you believe in? Why are they important to you?
Yeah, yeah, I have my reasons, and as you mentioned during my introduction, I am totally aware, and I am convinced right now that my mission is education, and I truly believe in education. Because of being a doctor, I know how, let's say, our biology and our anatomy works. And for sure, I am convinced that education is the right way, if used properly, to grow up real human beings with human values. And of course, lots of knowledge and everything else. But why I am part of all these programs of WHD is because I really appreciate WHD team. They are so amazing people from all around the world connecting with each other, just in pure love for humanity. So what we aim to do is raise awareness and show the people who we truly are and what we truly do and why we do it. So this is who we are. We truly believe in humanity. And we believe that education can help us build better human generations. For sure, we have to, everyone needs to improve. Maybe you will ask, why do we need it? Aren't we good enough? Well, my idea is that, to say it shortly, our biology is not, let's say, has not changed in many million years, maybe. Thousand years haven't changed so much to adapt to our actual life we are doing now. So these modern times we are living in, let's say, are not what our biology is asking for. So we are still those kind humans who love nature and love to enjoy life, but our everyday life puts us lots of stress. So we have lots of responsibilities. We need this, we need that. We want too many stuff and too many things, and our kids also, our career also. So everything needs to take from us. So there is a lot to be said and talk about it, but shortly, this is why I believe we need proper education so we can rearrange our thoughts and rearrange our needs, and we can, let's say, calm down, let's say, quiet our brain and listen to our hearts, and we will all notice that what we need is human values. So we can be doctors, scientists, and whatever, successful people, but at the end of the day, we should be real good humans. This is what I believe in. And to build strong people with human values, we need proper education. This is what WHD does, and this is what I'm part of it, and I love being part in every program possible through WHD platform. And as I said earlier, this would help build a peaceful future, which I strongly believe in. And our founder also, and all the secretary generals and all the WHD teams dreams and hopes for a peaceful, prosperous, harmonious future, full of human values. And this is why we work so much.
Thank you, Dr. Graci. So that your answers are actually related to our next question, because you are the Secretary General of WHD Albania. So what are your future plans for WHD Albania?
In my dreams, and for those who know me, they know that I believe dreams are the vision of our future. So when I say dreams, I mean my plans, and I believe that this is the energy I have inside dreaming about WHD Albania that will become truth. This is me. So what I dream is that more and more youth, we need, in Albania, we need more and more youth to be joined to these human values. Maybe this dream of me started since I was a kid. I was grown up in a family where our parents taught to me and my brother that apart from becoming successful maybe or becoming who we want to be, we should be good human beings. And this is something I have in my mind since a kid. So being respectful, being trustful, and being loyal to family and to people around us and society and the environment and everything else. And Albania has gone through a lot last 3 decades at least, but for sure our history previously have been even more tragical. So I believe that Albanians need to work a lot with themselves, yeah, as I did and I do every day with myself, to find peace, to forget what was done wrong with us, and to, let's say, to forgive people who did wrong to us unwillingly because they didn't know better than that, and to accept who we are right now. Maybe we are not what we have been hoping and dreaming for as kids, but we need to peacefully accept who we are now and how to improve, rather than being involved in angry, in resentment, or in becoming, let's say, nervous and talking bad, and everything that comes from mind stress and not feeling okay with oneself. So hopefully, this is my dream. I hope more and more youth will join WHD, because I think I can show on my own experience, this is who I am and what I do. I can show that we can find our own way and we can improve every day, and we can, let's say, find happiness in helping our country instead of leaving it and living abroad. I also had opportunities, my family also, to go abroad, but we didn't go. Everyone makes its own choices. I did choose to stay here and work, and I would be very happy and glad if more and more youth choose to stay in Albania and offer their best here, because we need them. Our country needs them. And WHD Albania is going to be more present in education and in students' needs, for sure, women's needs, for sure, and every topic that would become necessary during years. So this is what I dream about. But about concrete plans, it's a surprise.
We're looking forward to all those dreams that you have, and for WHD Albania. And then, so we have a final question, Dr. Zhenisa. Graci, what is your inspiring message to the world?
I would, if I could, I have lots of messages, but I'm choosing the most important one to me. As told previously, as I told you, I think we are very radicalized, polarized society. Let's say we keep discussing with each other because of we believe in different, for example, different political parties, or we discuss with each other because we have different thoughts about the pandemic, or we are separated because of religion beliefs. This is not the case in Albania, but globally it is. And we can discuss and, let's say, become enemies for everything. It's so easy. But instead, we should understand that we are one. We are all united. So we are all humans, and we have to share the same house. We have only this home planet. So what is there to fight about? Nothing at all. So what I would like to express that I find very important, maybe the most important, to understand that we are interdependent with each other, and we cannot prosper and we cannot be happy if the one next to us it's not prospering and it's not happy. So we need to find our connection, rebuild. We used to have it previously, but we need to rebuild it again, where it is lost, and understand that we are one. And there is nothing to fight for between each other. Instead, we should be supporting, loving, caring about each other, about our house, which is our home planet, with the environment, our food, and everything else. There is so much to be done instead of wasting time fighting and sharing contradictory ideas nowadays. So I'm hoping this to happen.
Falamindera, thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Zhenisa, Cuni, Graci, for gracing us with your presence and sharing your inspiring story with the world.
Thank you so much, Viva.
Thank you so much, Dr. Graci, medical professor, University of Girocaster and Secretary General of WHD Albania, Dr. Graci. Thank you so much. Since yesterday was Holocaust Remembrance Day, let us share a quotation by Anne Frank. It's difficult in times like these. Ideals, dreams, and cherished hopes rise within us, only to be crushed by grim reality. It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart. These are difficult times for many of us. We have to keep in mind that we are all connected to one another, regardless of race, gender, religion, or nationality. We are all one family in the family of humanity. Let us remember to be kind, especially in these times. WHD joins the world in mourning the loss of Prince Philip, husband of Queen Elizabeth II. We'll keep him in our prayers. Happy 3rd year anniversary to WHD, and here's to many more. Thank you, our virtual audience, for your continued support. To all those celebrating their birthdays and special milestones this week, happy celebrations. This has been World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show. If today's discussion inspired you, please share the link with your family and friends. Share with us your takeaways from today. Follow us on our social media accounts. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel, WHD Media. Visit our WHD website, www.whd.org.uk, for more inspiring events. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. To our frontliners, we salute you. We thank you for your hard work and sacrifices and dedication to humanity. On behalf of WHD team, especially those working behind the scenes, WHD Chairman Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed, WHD Director of Global Operations and Superwoman, Ms. Sarah Wilson, WHD's 12 Honorable Secretary Generals. We thank you, our virtual audience from around the world, for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Viva Andrada O'Flynn. Please join us again next Friday. We will have a discussion with Datuk Amer Bukvik, CEO of Bosnia Bank International, as we inspire the world here on Inspiring Millions Show.